Clash, April 2009. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Ao Grande on YouTube, Jazz Calls Me Pete. Back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host and running mate, one of my best friends in the world, he who bears watching, Super Jazz.
As nature intended. I love that. I love how you just stop saying sometimes refer to as Pete on this show and just say Jazz calls me Pete. Like just call the middleman. Jazz, goddammit. No, I'm not the only one who's like to call him that, but pretty much as far as how this goes, yes. Anyway,
Big Bro is does too.
Right, and we're not the only two.
Well, yeah,
right.
That they know.
Right. As that the only two that y'all know, yeah. Anyway, yes. As my good friend Po Mari or Omit. I'm trying to combine them.
I probably prefer Omari out of those two.
It's like what? You said food was available? Oh, meat. It's like what? You were trying to introduce us? You were trying to get us to know each other? You were trying, what's the word? Oh, me. Anyway, what's going on? Yes, everybody. As he said, I go by Jazz, Super Jazz, SJ, JT, whatever you want to have you on the light again. Yes, of course, this is the Whatever We Want podcast where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they different camera setup.
When we got a different camera setup. Yeah.
Why do I have a different camera setup? Oh,
why
wow.
is that, Super Jazz?
Jazz's camera, as they say sometimes, or at least used to say sometimes, look like somebody smeared Vaseline on the lens. Well, it's a different angle, and it looks kind of because we're recording this, Monday, and just Thursday, I believe it was just Thursday, if not Friday. My computer crapped out on me. I had brought it into the kitchen, making some food, which I have done several times since I've had the computer and since I've been at my new place. And then after I, brought it back after making food that morning, afternoon, whatever it was, brought it back, set it back, my little office desk set up, my little office desk set up, all my stuff, and I set it up, because I got my whole little desk thing and everything. And I set it back up, to do it, to get stuff done or whatever. I'm listening to it. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'm about to take a shower. I got my Bluetooth in the bathroom because the bathroom is right here. And I'm like, I always hook my Bluetooth up and I play some stuff so I can take a shower, whatever. And I was listening to something, and then it kind of like went off. And I said, okay, let me, you push a button to make the screen come back on. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Push it. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I had dropped my computer years ago. I had dropped my computer and something had fucked it up. So it always had to be plugged in for it to come on. If you unplugged it, it had maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Regardless of the charge, it had 3 to 5 minutes and then it would just turn itself off. I was like, okay. Well, maybe it somehow got unplugged. I gotta plug it back in. I know this whole rigmarole. The charge light is green. It's plugged in. It's like, okay, well, we all know how this goes if bullshit happens. Hold the power button. Hold the power button. Nothing. Holding the power button. Nothing. Holding the power button. Nothing. I'm like, what the fuck just happened with my fucking computer? And then I'm kind of hearing like a little noise, like I'm holding the button. I'm hearing like a chick. Every time I hold the power button, chick, right by the charge port, chick. And I'm like,
that's not
okay,
good.
this is some bullshit. Yeah, like this is some bullshit. So I wait till the next day because I have rehearsal that night. Wait till the next day. I take it to Micro Center which is a local. I'm pretty sure they're more than just St. Louis, but I know Micro Center is a place, at least in St. Louis, that they have like a knowledge bar type, fix computers, all this stuff. I'm hoping it ain't nothing big, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna get it looked at. We're gonna see what the thing is. Hopefully, it ain't nothing too crazy. Take it in eventually, and first off, the dude behind the desk, he's really cool. But first off, the dude behind the desk, uh, he was telling me, he was like, I can't say 100% because I don't know till we look at it. But he was like, diagnostic is 40. I'm like, well, I kind of expect, okay, cool. But then he was like, I can't say, but before we look at it, but estimation from what I've kind of seen, this is that. He's like, labor is 200 usually off rip. Then it might be 166 if it's this, and that's before we even talk about parts. I'm like, what in the fuck? Get the
That's
fuck out my
crazy.
damn yeah, man. And he was like, so do you want to just put it off? I was like, let's just do the 40 for now, and then we'll cross, do whatever we got to do. We come to it. And then he was like, well, I'm just estimating anyway. He said, this was funny too. I'm just estimating anyway. I was like, that's fine. He's like, yeah. He's like, I can't. I'm not an Apple specialist, so I'm not even technically allowed to look at your computer.
Nigga, what you looking
Only
at my computer for?
no. He took it in, but he's not allowed to look at or no, not all that. He's not allowed to look at or assess or do anything. Apple has it where only Apple specialists are allowed to assess so anybody back there that knows computers, if they are apparently, I guess, not a technical Apple specialist, like Apple brand specialists, they're not allowed to look at fucking computers. I said, that's crazy. He's like, yeah. He said he said Apple's so strict with their shit that he's not even allowed to unscrew my laptop in front of me. Like Apple has it where they're not allowed to take apart Apple laptops Macs in front of you. I was like, what? Because sometimes they might be like, let's
Yeah,
see what we can do.
they're
Yeah.
very proprietary in their own things. Everything has to go through them.
Yeah, man. This dude, he straight said that. He said so. I mean, I checked it in with him. I paid the $40. It might have been 41, whatever. But anyway, I paid the $40. And then I bought a phone holder for the car, which already, because my old one broke, bought a phone holder for the car, and it's already not the best one I should have gotten. But the thing was, the one that broke because it was cheap, because it was like $8. So this one, that's a side story. So this one that I bought after however long, after that one lasted for about maybe a month and a half. This one that I just bought, that I'm like, is about $10, $11, because I didn't want to spend $25 on a car phone holder.
No?
Maybe I have to. Maybe I have to. That's a whole different side story. It just seemed like $25 a lot. But anyway, so I checked in the computer. I'm waiting, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna get back to you." Usually takes about 2 days or so for us to get back to you. Like, okay, cool. So I checked the motherfucker in. I want to say like Friday or some shit, maybe Saturday. Anyway, okay, cool. So I get a text yesterday. Yeah, I get a text yesterday. Um, or no, today. I get a text earlier today talking about they're finally looking at the computer because weekends, so they're finally
Yeah.
looking at the computer and shit. And it's like, okay, cool. So it's at somebody's desk. We're taking a look at it. Shortly after, I get a text, and I say shortly, I mean after I get the text saying we're looking at it, I mean all of like 10 to 15 minutes, I get another text, which is pretty quick. Talk about Jazz. There were health concerns with your laptop, so we actually are not able to go further with our diagnostic. It is available for pickup. And I was like, the fuck? I text back. I say, when you say health concerns, like what were the health concerns? If I can ask, because I can only text. I tried calling, I can't call, so I can only text. So said there were biological and some other fucking health concerns. I was like, the fuck?
How the
Should I have been
hell?
using this shit? Yeah, like what the fuck is going on with my goddamn computer?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So the next thing I text, I'm like, that's already crazy. But the next thing I texted back, And I'm wondering, I'm like, man, would y'all have said this to me in person if I didn't say nothing? But the next thing I texted back was, well, in lieu of this information, and since the diagnostic can't proceed, can I get the payment back or at least a portion? Because if y'all can't fucking do the damn diagnostic, give me my fucking money back.
I agree.
So, and I'm just thinking like, would they have offered if I didn't say shit? Like if I go in person, would they? I don't know. But I said, but the guy said, yeah, we can offer you a full refund. And then I texted back and I said, I appreciate that. Thanks again. I should be able to get it tomorrow. So, say la vie. Because Ibn, big bro, was supposed to come over yesterday, and we were gonna watch what's the name, AEW All In, like
Yeah, All In.
came on, yeah, when it came on at noon and shit.
Yes,
But then I
sir.
but then I had to text him like Friday or whatever and be like, hey man, my computer crapped out, so we can't watch AEW here. So I just went to where he was, but it was
Okay.
just it was just like you got your whole weekend plan, day plan. Not to mention, I do a lot of shit on my computer, and that's gone. And it's just but at the same time, I had the motherfucker for 7 years. So, but yeah. So my thing now is expensive or not, the fuck is gonna happen with my computer? That's the big thing I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? If they talking about, I mean, a friend of mine, shout out to my dude DJ Bionic, but he was like, I should take it to Mac HQ and see what they got to say about it. And I was like, that ain't a bad idea. So because I took it to Micro Center, and I'm not trying to besmirch the name of Micro Center, downplay, talk about Micro Center, none of that shit. I know. For some reason that's the word that popped in my head, and I know I used it correctly, but that is a wild ass word to use. But I'm not trying to.
Microplastics.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah. Besmirch.
No, you keep doing what you gotta do. I'll take a little break. Go ahead.
Besmerchant. Slander for sale. Oh, that's actually an idea. Person that just sells their slanderous services, and they call themselves the besmerchant.
So basically,
you pay them and they slander other folks.
But I'm saying like, so do they just insult them, or do they go as far as to legally slander?
How much money I got?
Somebody who calls himself a besmirchant would be somebody who basically fucking whores himself out for the highest dollar.
The besmirchant may not be a liberal, but he's a libel.
You tried. I respect it.
You could say he's reliable. Yeah, I got nothing. Micro Center sucks. No, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Micro Center.
It was that you went all the way around the world saying that dumb shit, and then just long pause. Micro Center, like what the fuck? But no, man, yeah. Like I say, I don't know. Like price be damned, whether inexpensive or a lot. The big thing, like I say, is am I gonna be able to get this computer back? Well, and the thing the dude told me too was that when it comes to Mac, if when they typically are able to, because he said it's usually when it shuts down and they'll come back on, it's the motherboard is shot, and he said usually with Macs, if they do any repairs to the motherboard, they pretty much always have to just wipe the hard drive clean. I said, ain't that a bitch? So,
Yeah, that's
it,
usually the result of the motherboard wiping.
but because on PCs and shit, they might be able to find this, find that, fix this, fix that. But he was like, with Max, pretty much just, I was like, ain't that a bitch? And
Yeah.
then my dude D there, he basically confirmed it. Was like, yeah, that's how it goes with Max. I said, ain't that a bitch? So, like I said, I mean, um, I just want to know because of these biological health concerns or whatever. Like, I'm gonna take it to Mac HQ and see what they say. Like I said, but the fuck biological, like either y'all are like way too strict, or should I be using this fucking computer?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like with the biological safety hazard, you better get some clarification when you get there. Get some rubber gloves or some shit.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, so what were the concerns? I'm gonna walk in and talk to him because I want to get my money back. Period.
Mm.
Like that's off rip. But then the second thing is like, so what was the issue? I'm not like, so what was the? Can I ask you what was the problem? You know, and then they're gonna say something that sounds like that is like actually founded. They're gonna say something that's some bullshit, or they're gonna say something that is bullshit that they're gonna make it sound like it's good. It's like, well, if you take your left, jump fluffer nutter and you mix it with, your hatchback enthusiast realm, like the fuck you doing? Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I couldn't think of technological sounding words. So I just word vomited. I just word vomited. I just word vomited. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, both of us are just just throwing stuff out there today. Speaking of
I need
throwing stuff out, what?
I was gonna say I need the besmircher to sell me his services
The
to shit on you
besmirchant.
for getting the besmirchant to sell me his services because the shit on you and stop you from like talking shit about me.
Well, if you can't even get the
Anyway,
man's name right. For all the bullshit I've said today, I like besmirchant.
I do like besmirchant. Now, would the besmirchant whore himself out for the right dollar if the target of his besmirching was him? If you pay this besmirchant to besmirch himself, would he for the right price do it?
Let's think about
I
shit
think he
talkers. I think you would, because that's what he do. But at the same time, there are people in real life who talk a lot of shit and get a lot of shit talked about. Though. You know what I mean?
would. Yeah.
So I could see it, especially if he knows that's his whole deal. Cause say
Yeah,
stuff, or if
like
he even does it like tongue in cheek or whatever, but says it, people are like, well, at least he makes fun of himself. He can talk about whatever group he wants to talk about, but he makes fun of himself, so it's okay.
Well, no. I'm talking about. Hey, besmirch it. I'm gonna pay you $300 to no mercy. Just go to town and just shit on yourself. Just all kind of just fuck me this, fuck me that. But like go hard in the paint with the insults. Like that shit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Then you gonna say some shit like, that's why your cousin did or some crazy shit. I don't know.
Case by case basis. What's my name?
Anyway,
Case by case. You know what I'm saying?
you were throwing stuff out. You were
Case
throwing
by
stuff out earlier.
case. Was that? Yeah, I was throwing out random things. I was trying to think of something to go with throwing out to transition to another topic, but I can't think of anything involving out, so I guess I'll talk about things coming in. All the way in. Did you watch All In yesterday? Since you had
I
the
said I
broken
did.
computer. You went
I
in,
said
so
I did.
you still got to see the pay per view when you went to where Big Bro was.
Me
What
and
did
even
you
watch
think?
it. Um, I think that the internet is gonna shit on it no matter what the fuck I think. But at the same time, no. I thought that it was I thought that it was a pretty good pay per view. Um, I am one of them people that I think that it is unfair to just outright shit on the crowd. But I do like when some people are like, the crowd is dead. No, 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 no. But I do think at times the crowd was a little dead in spots, but then they livened up in some spots, which was kind of interesting. It was almost like they got quiet in certain parts of matches and
Yeah.
then in other parts of matches. And I think that if it was like typical overseas crowd with the same show, but typical somebody, puts a thumbs up or flashes a peace sign, that everybody like, oh shit, like it's the best thing ever. So if it was a typical overseas crowd with the exact same show, it would have seemed like a better show. Um, but no, I thought that it was definitely like it was definitely some good matches. It was good in some parts. Um, if I had to rate the thing, I would give it like a C plus, B minus, something like
Damn.
that. I say B minus. I say B minus. I say B minus.
Fair enough.
C plus is low. B minus.
I liked it. I didn't really find that much wrong with it, even when it
I ain't
came
about
to
to.
like match choice or whatever, or the crowd. Like I didn't think the crowd was that bad. I thought they were doing the typical stuff. They had their Tony Storm, just kind of like
Oh, now that was fun.
Cody Rhodes, whatever.
That's what they were doing. Okay, I was trying to hear them.
When Cody Rhodes was in Mania, or not Mania, but over Clash at Castles or whatever, they were like, the crowd, for whatever reason, had a chant where it was like, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. It's some British song. I don't know it. But they did it with Tony Storm as well. Tony Storm. And I said it,
It was fun.
and a friend of mine said that it reminded him of like Wesley Willis songs, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with Wesley Willis. So, Wesley Willis, early in the age of the internet, I found out about him. He's a man who had some mental health struggles, to be fair. That said, he is mainly known for making up songs with his Casio keyboard that were pretty basic and pretty much straight and to the point. For instance, he had a song called I Whooped Batman's Ass.
I'm assuming the
So
song was about him
the song goes,
Batman.
it starts with Batman got on my nerves. He was running me amok. He ridiculed me and called me a bum. I whooped Batman's ass. I whooped Batman's ass. I whooped Batman's ass. I whooped Batman's ass. Second verse that's just as simple. Back to I whooped, and I mean he couldn't sing. It was
That's what I was waiting. I was going to ask you that.
yeah,
I
it
was going
was
to ask
literally
that.
I
Okay.
whooped Batman's ass. He also
I was
has
going
other
to ask if
songs
he could
like
sing.
Rock and Roll McDonald's. Rock and Roll McDonald's, Rock and Roll McDonald's, Rock and Roll McDonald's. Now, when I say he had mental health issues, I mean schizophrenia, not spectrum. I mean like
Okay.
schizophrenia and stuff like that. Those kind of mental health issues.
That is apparent. Yeah, that's some hard shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he eventually got arrested and died in prison. But between his own life struggles, he still managed to leave his mark on society with his songs.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but with him saying that, I can totally picture just Tony Storm, Tony Storm. Anyway, I would suggest checking out I Whooped Batman's Ass and or Rock and Roll McDonald's if you wanted to look into some Wesley Willis stuff. We looked
That sounds
yeah.
that sounds dope. It
One
sounds like a fun time.
one of the gentlemen that was with us yesterday, I'll call him Double O.
Oh, it was a few of y'all watching All In.
Yeah, it was myself, the roommate, bro, I think I referred to the third guy on this show, and Double O now. Yeah. You're just saying
bro,
someone's tall.
bro, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he was. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, bro, yeah. I'm you like referred to, and I'm like, yeah. Without saying the person's
No,
name,
you were
that's
saying
the,
he's.
the
Yeah, you were saying he's
he is,
tall. For a second, I thought you were
yes.
raising your hand. Like, wait a minute. No, I got you.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm like,
okay.
okay, yeah, you're just saying he's tall.
Because I'm like you're saying somebody's tall, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it ain't been that long. Is he not? That's why I was confused. Okay, my bad. I got
It ain't been that long. It's only been 10 years.
you. 11.
Whatever.
he
That's a pretty substantial amount of time.
ain't. He's not gonna not get tall.
No, I'm not
Like
talking
like
about
like you're not
him
gonna.
shrinking. It's
Oh,
the fact that like it ain't been that long. It's been a fucking decade.
because okay, I got you. No, I get you. Because in my if in where I'm standing with my like side of the argument or whatever you want to call it, I was just like, he's not gonna untall. But you're like, ain't been that long. 11 years is that long. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
When I went up there, I was 22. Yeah, that's a difference. So
Yeah. But anyway, it was us and this dude Double O. I hadn't really watched a lot of wrestling shows with Double O, but he's not a big fan of AEW or the Fed, as he refers to it.
oh
Um,
damn, what does he watch?
New Japan indie stuff.
Uh, uh,
Very big into
super
New
pures,
Japan. Yeah.
super pures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
okay.
not a fan of what AEW normally does. Definitely not a fan of anything WWE does. And yeah, he's definitely on the side that CM Punk, was the loser in the deal of everything though, because now he's fighting over a friendship bracelet. Look at what they got him.
Apparently,
Look what they got him wasting his career on.
even was saying that people are shitting on that, but when I go to online and see people
Well,
talking about it, it seemed like everybody was into it.
the
The
people
friendship
who
bracelet.
the people who want to shit on it will pick that to shit on. And I tried to say, well, to be fair, it's a lot more than just the friendship bracelet. It's the whole ripping his triceps off the bone with a DDT. There's that whole thing that sparked this. The friendship bracelet is incidental. They really just don't like each other. But that topic came up when Mr. Glass was in the ring, the scapegoat, Mr. Real
And I'm like,
Glass.
that shit was
Yeah,
funny.
Jungle
Speaking of the
Timberlake,
crowd,
Jungle
Ju-
Timberlake.
Jungle Timberlake. Now, speaking of the crowd though, oh, cry me a river.
Did they say that?
Oh, you didn't catch that?
I
Yeah.
didn't. They were too
When
busy
when he
complaining about CM Punk and other stuff. I couldn't hear that part.
when he dumped the glass out the bag, because I was like, the fuck is the crowd saying? They were saying the oh, cry me a
I was
river.
kind of mad he didn't
Oh,
say "Cry Me a River," but I was happy that he did pull up. Like, okay, regardless of what side you take in all of this, yeah, he was a jackass. He probably shouldn't have talked to the veteran. Blah blah blah. I'm not saying he's right in this situation. What I will say is when you take the hit to your reputation that you did, congratulations, you just cost this company its biggest star in a long time. Way to
that's
ruin
what
this.
people think. That's what
Well,
people say.
yeah, and the evidence of ratings and shit since the incident
No,
ain't
no.
helped
I
out
mean,
either.
I don't want to sidetrack where you're going with this, but I don't fully subscribe to it being Jack Perry's fault.
Oh no,
But
I'm
we
saying it doesn't help him. That
that's what I'm saying.
from All In to All In, the ratings were lower than they had been in a long ass time, and
No, I'm
the
talking about.
common denominator, Jack Perry. But that's
I'm
also
saying I don't subscribe to it being Jack Perry's fault that CM Punk is no longer there. That's
okay. Lots of people do enough for him to do the only thing he could do, which is
what. Oh yeah,
have a
yeah.
gimmick where he calls
The
himself the
scapegoat. Yeah,
scapegoat and he
yeah,
owns
yeah.
it.
Which is smart. Yeah, lean into it. It's smart.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. It's smart of him to lean into it because that's literally the only way his career was gonna have a chance to recover is to come back like this, own it and stuff. Now, what screwed him over? Like he's still fine, but what made it worse is them deciding to go ahead and show the footage.
that helped him in a weird way. I thought that was a dumb
That
move.
just made it. That
I,
just made CM Punk look right.
no, but this is the thing. I thought that was a weird move, and a huge part of that was actually kind of like invasive as far as privacy and all kind of shit. It was kind of weird to do that. I thought that was weird, but
Sorry.
In a weird fucking way, as much as I was against that, showing that shit, making CM Punk look right or not, because I agree, it did help Jack Perry.
How? He just got bitched out on camera. And it showed that
And he's
CM Punk
linked
was right. So all the people who hate
and he's
you because you got
and
rid
he,
of CM Punk.
so the reason why I say is it helped him is we could just talk about it as big as it is, and it could make him whatever for that. But then when they show it, and then everybody gets confirmed, this is why I hate you, and you lead into it, the leaning into it. Okay, well, you hate me because of this. Well, then look, and now everybody is really hating. And he's just like, yeah, come on. He right now, him being this heat magnet is what he wants.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, it helped because you give him more of a reason to fucking shit on me. And he's like, yes, please do this. If
Gotcha.
that's not what he wanted, it would have been a really bad idea. I thought it was a bad idea in the first place, but I looked and I'm like, this actually kind of worked because it's making him even more public enemy number one than he was. That's why I say that.
Yeah. I guess. But I did think it was smart of him to. I was upset that the coffin wasn't made out of glass. Because I figured,
That
like, I
that
understand
would
why.
that would have been because I'm with you.
All
I'm
right,
with you. That would have been thank you.
folks at home, yes, I understand. Huge safety hazard, and it would have been terrible for the wrestlers to do it. That said, this is all enablers wrestling, and if anybody was going to go through a glass coffin, it would be Darby fucking Allin.
Darby fucking Allin. Yeah.
So, I didn't necessarily want to see the result of that, but I thought that would have been a heat pop. I don't know what to call it, but like a heat pop in and of himself. That this motherfucker brought out a glass coffin and still was like, hey, oh my god, if he like spray painted like Cry Me a River on it or some shit, just really piss people off. I just wanted to see the people be pissed off. The bottom line is he still brought out the little broken glass, got his little stab into that, and moved on. Yeah.
No.
Speaking of Darby fucking Allin. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say this real quick. This what he would have spray painted on the glass coffin. Real glass.
Yeah, real glass. That too. But speaking of Darby fucking Allin, you mentioned thumbtacks. This nigga coming out with thumbtacks
looking like Hellraiser with
face. Yeah, with thumbtacks embedded in his face. Darby
you want to talk about
at All In, which is spelled like Allen.
Damn, it is, isn't it? I didn't even think about that.
Darby All In, because that's how he treats his matches.
It is spelled exactly like Allen, just minus the hyphen.
All In, like your face.
No, you want to talk about Darby Allin doing wild, crazy ass shit. How about the fact that this motherfucker got thrown off of the goddamn set through a table with his fucking legs and fucking like hands bound?
The second he tied his hands, or like he tied his hands first, I'm like, oh no, not an unprotected, unprotected bump. And then he tied the feet. I'm like, this could only end poorly.
And then he threw his ass like off the fucking set with his head and with his wrists and ankles like tied. I was like, what the fuck? That dude, he's nuts. He's nuts.
I don't know if he was ever in CZW. I found out over the weekend.
That makes sense.
I found out over the weekend Swerve is former CZW, and everything started to click and make sense for me.
Then that makes sense. That's why that death match that he had with Hangman went off how it did.
Yep. The second I saw that,
was a great match.
The second I saw that, I'm like, oh, you're one of them. You're one of them Moxley boys. I don't know how to stop hurting types. I got you. Hurting you,
Um,
hurting me, don't matter. I'm doing shit.
what's his name? But that match too, like I guess that does click because not only was he able to have a good match with Hangman when that shit happened, but you can't fake stapling fucking staple gun staples into your pecs, and the fact that he just ate that shit. So yeah, yeah.
This is
The
CZW. He did
the
one of them
blood drinking
stupid
was still too
cage
much though.
matches that they have over there. With the fucking light tools at the top that you fall
Oh,
through and
the
shit.
fucking them light tubes are too much.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. He like I said, he's one of them motherfuckers.
Them
CZW.
light tubes are too much.
Jesus.
Like, don't get me wrong. I like a good hardcore match, even a hardcore match that goes off the goddamn rails. But them light tubes, I've never seen a match with light tubes where I was like, yeah, hit him with a light tube. It just looks too like reckless. And I like some reckless matches. That shit just looks like is there any like story to this? Or y'all just want to hit each other with light tubes? Like, what
Yeah,
are we doing?
yeah. There's
Like,
a reason I had to find out that he's former CZW and didn't already know. It's because I don't watch CZW. That's a little too much for me. I know Bill is probably convinced that I am all about the death matches because it happens that a lot of the matches I ended up suggested for the other show kind of go down into that territory. Like when I hit
what
him
all
with
of you
the
suggest?
Darby Allin versus, well, not that territory, but it was still more than he wanted. I'd hit him with Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. He doesn't want to watch that. Like he's fine with hardcore matches. It's just as you get older, you get a bit more empathy for the
Oh
wrestlers. Some stuff you just don't
no,
want to be seeing. And watching Darby Allin just go out there and hurt himself and not only look unsafe for himself, but to use Bill's words, to look unsafe for his teammates as well or his opponents as well. He just wasn't a fan. And a match like that with the Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy ladder match, fucking that one spot that we like replay like 5 or 6 times in the thing. Yeah, no, that motherfucker was crazy. But no, there is a limit to what I will watch, or there's a limit to what I think is okay. Mox is awesome. I don't like the skewers. Please stop it with the skewers.
oh, the skewers hanging out of his fucking head.
Yeah, stop it. Get some help.
Stop it, get.
Fuck it.
Stop it, get some help.
Look at Michael Jordan. Stop
Mm-hmm.
it.
But yeah, it's one thing. But yeah, not only does he stab the skewers, but then they just
Yeah, he sits there. Which, granted, the look on his face, 99.9% it's genuine. My body's going into shock. God, this hurts. But he sits there just.
I wonder how Renee feels when he's doing shit like that because she knows that that's what he does. But how does she feel when he's doing shit like that?
I know early AEW she would tweet out shit like "you gotta be fucking kidding me" and shit like that when he would have some of those spots. But I think after a while, you know what you married.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, now you want to talk about going back to All In that just happened, and you want to talk about how did the family, the wife and kids feel when husband and dad was getting fucked up, and I'm sitting next to Evan, and Bree, Buddy, and Birdie are ringside. For those of y'all who don't know, that's Brian Danielson's wife and son and daughter, and I think his daughter's like 6 or 7, and his son is like 4 or 5 or some shit. And they're like ringside. They're so small, they're barely able to see over the fucking barricade. That's how tiny they are. And I'm just thinking, I said, that's cool that you got his kids and wife ringside, but is that a good thing? Because we know how this match is probably going to turn out. And we've all, and it even basically said it before I could even finish, but he was like, yeah, we've all basically seen Beyond the Mat. And we remember how it was Mick Foley and his kids wincing and crying when The Rock was whooping his ass. And then fast forward, the fucking Swerve, fucking Daddy Brian Danielson's bleeding right in front of his kids, and Swerve a foot away. You see that, Dad? You want to see your dad like this? And I'm just like
Prince Nana goes in front of him dancing while they dad's ass gets whooped.
taunting him with the dance and shit.
I saw someone like, oh, Buddy Bryant's gonna grow up to be racist at this point.
How about the part where fucking? How about the part where Bryan Danielson is in the ring, bleeding, looking helpless in the center of the ring, looking at his wife and kids like, "I love you, I love you." I'm like, what kind of fucking shit? Why would you do this to your children?
Because it looks good on camera. Look how
It definitely
genuine.
don't.
Look how genuine the fear in their eyes is. Will their daddy come home tonight? They don't know.
When you're that young,
Exactly.
when you're that young, it is. They're not having.
You can't pay for actors that good. So just get the genuine response. You can explain it to him later. See, daddy's fine.
Because what's his name? Shout out to Steve and Larson. I was watching Steve. He got his own channel, Wrestle Juice. And he was even talking. He was like, no matter how much they, like Daniel Bryan goes through it with his kids beforehand. He said even if like Swerve was backstage talking to him and like playing games and hide and seek and video games and stuff, he's like, they probably still not gonna fully understand what's going on.
Especially not Little Man. But Little Man ain't gonna remember it in like a week.
Yeah, but
that kid is small. I don't know how old he is, but he looked like he gonna forget it in a week or two. He'll be all right.
If he grows up in 20 years with like a genuine disdain for like the wrestling business, we might be able to pinpoint it all the way back to this.
Oh, most definitely. Or the rest of the stuff Daniel's doing, or whatever puts Daniel away. Whatever Christian does to put him away, because now it's Christian.
Don't do it?
What's Christian's whole gimmick about?
So you think he wants to rip the father from because he has kids?
He wants to send the father home to be a family man.
Hmm.
And he's going to do the favor for the family and send their daddy home to them.
Well, shit, technically, in that case, if you really want to go that far, that means Christian would kill him. Because the whole thing is your dad's dead. So he's just going to be like, huh? Zoom is muting you. Hold up. Say what?
How does that help them?
No, because you were talking about what's Christian doing. And I'm like, well, Christian is the main one talking about the whole your dad's dead thing. So if you really want to go that far.
Well, I heard another part of his whole patriarchy gimmick is beating up living fathers and telling them, like, I'm doing this for your family, sending you home.
Oh, okay.
Type shit. And Daniel Bryan now, or Bryan Danielson now, having his family sitting at the side of the ring and all that stuff, crying because their dad is, getting his ass whooped in front of 80,000 people, but more specifically them, while these black guys taunt and dance in front of them. And you're like, well, at least you're thinking, well, if he loses, it'll all be over. He won't have to suffer again. But then he won, ensuring that the career will continue and he will have to suffer more times like this. I got you, fam, literally. I will send him home so that he can go and help and be with you guys 24/7. He doesn't need to be in the ring. I'm going to injure him so far beyond belief to where I'll force him into retirement and I'll take his belt because I'm Christian Cage and I like to take advantage of stuff. Did I say I would hurt him? I lied. Luchasaurus is going to hurt him. I'm not going to do shit.
Kill switch?
I'm sorry. Who entered the Casino Royale last night? Or whatever.
No, I know. They called him Luchasaurus.
Yeah. Luchasaurus. The Damagor.
Sorry, say that one more time?
I said he's a dinosaur.
Sound like you said something else.
Oh, no. I said dinosaur.
Okay. Yeah, they run the risk with the Luchasaurus finally stand up the Christian Cage thing. They run the risk of drawing it out because one thing that I have seen, for whatever reason, this popped in my head as far as like drawn out stories that would have been way more effective if they finally did it. Was Sasha Banks and Bailey, being friends, and then when they finally turn on each other, and they that shit had drawn out so fucking long that when they finally turned on each other, beat each other up and shit, it was a big deal, but it could have been so much bigger if they struck while the iron was at. So they run the risk with this kill switch Luchasaurus finally standing the Christian thing. If they don't do that,
Wardlow MJF thing.
the Wardlow MJF thing wasn't so much drawn out. The Wardlow MJF thing, I no, it was drawn out, but I think what fucked that up was the whole like status of Wardlow was like all over the moon, but then they didn't capitalize on it.
I agreed with you that they pushed him at the wrong time. Doobie doobie doo. Or no, they didn't push him at the wrong time. It's just once he went, they didn't capitalize on it. I agree that was the end of Wardlow, but I was mainly alluding to him in the sense that they love taking a long time with these things, which I notice nowadays both companies are starting to do a lot more of this super duper long term ass storytelling. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, it is good to do those.
Yeah, I read X-Men and One Piece. I understand long form narrative and Dragon Ball. And other types of shonen manga. I get it. Long form narratives, all about the payoff. Oh man, this thing happened 5 years ago and they called back to it in the climax. Fantastic. However, I also just I think that's why I kind of liked the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud or some other feuds over the years where it's just two guys that just don't like each other. I don't need a long storyline as to why. Oh, you were my friend, you were my brother, now we gotta fight each other type shit. Cool. That's cool for Pokemon or whatever, but it's not. You don't remember, we were like brothers, now we gotta fight each other. It was like some fucking shit back in the day. Maybe not Pokemon, but it was one of those 4Kids shows that had a fucking that era. Bottom line is, yeah, I just like it when people like hating each other. Or not like hating each other, but when two characters just plain don't like each other. It's kind of like the meat versus meat matches that happen. Where it's just like sometimes you just want to see two motherfuckers fight. Just genuinely, I don't like you. That's why I liked Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Did it make sense? No. But Braun Strowman did not like that man. He just loved, or the only thing he liked doing was hurting him. Hey, Braun, how are you doing today? I like hurting Roman Reigns.
That was an actual conversation.
Yeah. I asked him about something completely unrelated, and he just turns to, I like hurting Roman Reigns. I like the way his bones sound when they snap.
Did he say that too?
Something along those lines, yeah. And then 2 weeks later, we get the "I'm not finished with you" ambulance flip. Like that was it. He just
I wasn't watching. You told me about it. I wasn't watching it.
Braun hated Roman because reasons, and Roman hated Braun because leave me the fuck alone, man. I ain't even do shit to you. And then people were like, Roman won that feud. By what? Reuniting the Shield so that they can help him beat this temporarily? Like, look, guys, I know we broke up. I need help. This dude won't leave me the fuck alone, okay? We gotta reform the unbeatable stable real quick, because that's the only way I'm getting this motherfucker off my back. Alright. Thank you. Let's go back to hating each other. And that was fun in and of itself. But no, wrestling's always gonna be good. The Tony Storm match was okay. I forget.
Tony Storm, I really like that one.
Was it Ospreay and MJF that did the fucking spot that the other two fucked up on Wednesday?
I didn't see Wednesday.
Okay, so there was a spot that people fucked up on Wednesday that Tony Storm and Saraya messed up on Wednesday.
Okay.
It was memed upon and everything, and for some people, it was their first Dynamite match ever, and they're like, "Oh, this is the top tier wrestling I was told about."
People look for an excuse.
I mean, when you finally tune in, and the first thing you see is that particular sequence, while I think it's a little harsh to judge the whole
That's what
company
I
on
mean.
it,
That's what I mean. Yeah.
it's still not a good. It's still not a good literal first impression of a
Well, they say
WWE.
you're only as good as your last match. So
Yeah, so, but pretty much Bailey and Becky had a spot that involved a lot of kicking and crawling under one another or some shit from back in the day. Fucking Saraya and Tony try to go for the spot. It looks horrible when they do it. Maybe by design, I don't know, but it had said person I'm talking about thinking Tony Storm was a far worse wrestler than she is.
Tony Storm is a really
But this is also their first time seeing Tony Storm wrestle. And they've heard about all the tales of Saraya and all her abilities with the whole Divas Revolution forming and all of that shit. So if a spot looks bad, you're probably gonna blame the person that you have less experience watching. Oh, you're good.
Yeah, when I had my headphones in, it wasn't doing all of that. That's my notification sound, and I just got an email. That's all.
Huh. That's from Mortal Kombat. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about this match. So I think it was two people. Maybe it was somebody else. I want to say it was Ospreay MJF. It might have been somebody else, but they decided to do the exact same spot, but in their way. During their match, and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're just going straight to the spot people were memeing on. All right.
Okay.
But MJF thing was cool. I like that MJF had the whole American flag with his face as the stars.
Yeah. And he was.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say he was Americaned out too. He had the Apollo like robe with the hat, Apollo Creed.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Creed. Apollo Crews.
I may not remember to put it on the screen. Okay, but yeah, no, he had a cool entrance. Yeah, I was gonna say something about me having an American flag with my face as the stars, or something that I did for my YouTube channel at one point. Not my YouTube channel, but my Twitch. One of my layouts, I think.
I have seen that because it was Omarica, yeah.
Yeah. So, as someone who has done something like that, kudos.
Did you when you did it? Did you have?
I did not do it to copy MJF. Come on now. I literally did Omarica. You
don't know what I was gonna say. You over here arguing something. I did not say that. God damn, that was not coming out of my mouth. Damn, do you think somebody else was gonna say that? Is that what?
Society will say it. The same people who think that Sasha came up with CEO.
That's not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was, if you'll let me say it, I was gonna say when you did it with the faces, did you have 50 faces?
I'm fairly certain I did to cover up all the stars.
Oh, okay. You didn't just like get a red bag. Okay.
No, it was an American flag thing, and then the stars, Omari faces.
And you did copy MJF too. You copycatting ass bitch. That was a joke, dude. Damn.
Look, I know the nigga's older than me. I know the nigga's older than me, but I'm pretty sure I've been doing the whole Omarica gimmick longer than he has.
You have been. Oh my God. You couldn't tell by the fact that you cut me off saying it, and I said that's not what I was gonna say. Then I said what I was gonna say, and I went back to it. You couldn't tell I was being funny.
That was more for the people.
Jesus Christ.
More for the people at home.
For me to say it the second time, I'm being funny, goddammit.
Yes.
Like, good Lord.
Yes.
Anyway, you motherfucker. No, man. Best matches were Danielson Swerve, MJF Ospreay, Tony Mariah.
Yeah. I would have liked the trios match if not for the ending.
It was a weird ending. It was a
no. I like the trios match. The fucking the Christian win.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad match. It was a cool little gauntlet match, but the ending was just like.
Yeah, I didn't like the Christian match.
Because that was the same thing with Jack Perry Darby, where it was a good match. And me and Ibn both said, but both them matches had very just like abrupt, like no build up endings. It was just like stuff's happening, boom, over. Like what the fuck? Because it was like put Darby in the body, put Darby in the coffin. Is he gonna close it? Yes, he is. Oh shit. Okay. And it was like,
I did expect a bit more, and we say this after the motherfucker came out with tacks in his face, got dog tied and thrown off the stage, and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, yeah, I did expect a bit more out of that match.
expect a bit more. If we ain't the most armchair quarterbacking ass bitches, I thought he didn't put his all into it. Get your dumb ass out of here. We ain't never taken
for a Darby Allin match.
We haven't taken a bump a day in our goddamn lives. We saying this shit.
Right. Nah.
Meanwhile,
it was good.
this
I expected a different ending. Say I expected more out of it, it would be disingenuous. I expected a different ending, or like maybe the hog tied, thrown off the stage into the coffin, end the match type shit. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean. Just something.
I know what you mean. I know what the margin for error in that is like, but I know what you mean.
It's more okay, and a coffin drop onto a coffin has no margin of error.
Oh, it does. It was fucking crazy.
I say it has the same amount
of off the turnbuckle to the fucking like to the coffin that was laying outside the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. That said, I was more meaning by that I didn't mean specifically that spot, but just the big spot that people talk about being at the end of the match.
I get what you mean.
As opposed to the middle of the match. I think would have switched things a bit.
And the Christian thing, it was like, okay, I didn't necessarily like it in the way that it necessarily played out, but part of me does. Part of me does like it. And the reason why is if Christian's supposed to be this ultimate heel to piss you off, that pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be, you know, as Stone Cold would say, chicken shit heel. He starts the match off by fucking running away for majority of it, then comes back and has the big man win it for him again. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that shit's getting annoying. But like you said, though, I don't even watch on a week-to-week basis. But I also liked Luchasaurus. I find with Kill Switch, he's supposed to be more serious. Blah blah blah. I like campiness in my wrestling. Luchasaurus was campy enough, especially since he didn't walk around going "rah rah Dimagore, I'm a fucking Dimagore." He like actually spoke sentences. But you know what I mean. So it was campy enough, but it also was treated with an amount of wrestling seriousness, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I don't really take you serious, but you're telling me I should take you serious in a ring, and I just saw you beat someone's ass, so yeah, I'll take you serious. Goofy mask, but I ain't gonna check him for it. Type shit. And I mean, Kill Switch is the same, but it's slightly less goofy because it's not Luchasaurus.
Well, he fucking took his balls off and handed them to Christian and said, "Do with these what you will." You know?
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
I didn't like it the first time they did it.
I liked it when they first did it, but like I say, they running the risk of.
What happened to Marco? What gives a fuck about Marco?
Dad, don't do that. Don't you do that to Marco Stunt. Don't you do that.
More like Marco Runt.
Well, yes.
Well, yeah, I needed another word. I needed another word to rhyme with stunt that was an insult and wasn't like terrible.
What, like cunt?
Yes.
The word that. Yo, I don't always talk about race, but I say people all the time, like, the funny thing about the word cunt is it's not even really in black people's vocabulary. Like, we never really say that, but it is funny. But it is funny how it's funny how there's one demographic community of people that we don't even say this word at all. And then another group demographic of people, and this is like the worst fucking thing you could ever say. It's so funny how that like shit doesn't cross paths.
And then there's the people across the pond where that's like hello. I know it's not that frequent, but
I know what
you're right, don't you? Like, oh god, okay.
But I always thought that was so crazy. This is like the worst fucking thing you could say to somebody, and then to us, it's just like we don't even say that word like at all, even like halfway remotely. So I just think that's so funny. You
Yeah.
know, like if you call a black woman a cunt, she might go off on you just because you insulted her and what the fuck,
I mean,
maybe. But if you call a white woman a cunt, oh my god, yeah, and
context.
rightfully so, and rightfully so.
Context is always important.
Well, yeah, no, because if you call
My
a
dog, God, dog. Two different types of dogs.
like,
One of them I don't want to be called.
I'm just saying because like if you call like a woman, especially a black woman period, but especially a black woman, a bitch, you will get your fucking head chewed off and fucking cut off. And yeah,
Ooh, bitch. Ooh.
you better not say it.
But people can. Dudes can. Dudes and other women can. They just probably shouldn't be straight. But also it depends. Be like, hey, ain't you a bad bitch?
Yeah. Last time I was in the strip club and I said to the stripper, she was smarter than the average bear, but I kind of trailed off. She thought I said smarter than the average bitch, and she loved it. I said, okay. I was like, I said, you smarter than the average bitch. She's like, I'm smarter than the average bitch. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Oh, it's always funny when people hear what they want to hear out of what you said and then laugh, and you're like, that's not what I was saying, but you know what? I'll let you have it. You enjoyed what I said anyway.
I was gonna correct her, but what she thought I said was cooler than fucking smarter than the average bear in 2024. What she said was much cooler than that. So I was like, you know what? Your fine ass can have this shit. And the fact that I would have not, said bitch to you if I ain't know you that well. And you were cool with it and liked it. So shit, yeah, let's roll with that. Anyway, speaking of being cool with and rolling with, to segue off of fucking talking about strippers, what the fuck. But speaking of being cool with, rolling with all that, if you would like to, you can go ahead and roll over and check out Roll Over 2 anywhere you stream your music. And check out your boy. The name Super Jazz is the rap name. So go ahead, listen to my music. Type in Super Jazz, SUPERJAZ, followed by My Secret Identity. You can go ahead and listen to your boy's album. Like I said, anywhere you stream your music, pick a platform, it's on it. Also, if you would like to, you can go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram. That's going to be under the handle Forever Super Jazz. The word forever is spelled correctly. And you can go ahead. I took the leap. I started a production company. We produce plays. We get it cracking. We do the do. So please go on Facebook and like Aquarian Rising Productions. That is Aquarian, not Aquarius. You can go ahead and like that page and stay up to date with everything happening with Aquarian Rising Productions. In a few weeks, it's getting ever so close. We are going to be doing Top Dog Underdog by Susan Laurie Parks. It's going to be the last two weekends of September. September 20th is opening night. Go ahead and like the Facebook page, and you can find and keep up with everything happening, how to get tickets, all of that good shit, as well as we also have an Instagram for the company, Official Aquarian Rising. Again, Aquarian, not Aquarius. Where can they find you, sir?
Well, obviously, you can find me here. You can also find me on the channel Feo Grande. That's Feo Grande. Got numerous shows on there. Mondays, on the occasional Mondays, we got a show called Mock Draft. Draft various things. Pretty fun. Dope show indeed. We also have a show called Whatever We Want, clearly. We also have a show called This Guy Hasn't Seen on Tuesdays. Yes, thank you very much. Bill and I talk about various things, usually trade things back and forth. One guy's seen it, one guy hasn't. I believe this week we've got Time Cop.
Who? Time Cop?
Yes, sir. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme movie should be fun. Saturdays, you don't watch sports. Two guys, three topics. Sprinkle a little information into your sports conversation and be your guiding light through the sea that is casual sports talk. And yeah, also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is GIOTAVI. Come on in, stop on by.
Word, man. Well, yo, good people, you know we love you. You know we definitely do. And you know, I say it all the time, except for the times I forget. But you know, this is this is embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing, but fuck are we gonna talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody. Let me find the camera on where it is on this phone. It's a different position. Be nice to yourself.
Adios.